Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel, and in today's episode I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of acknowledging your mistakes as an entrepreneur. Now, it only seems right, that I share with you the bad with the good of being an entrepreneur, and it's all very well me sharing with you sort of my tips and experiences and how to do this and how to do that, but ultimately I'm not perfect. I'm not the perfect entrepreneur by a long way. I don't think anybody is. And I'm going to share with you today, I wouldn't say, it is a mistake, but it's being aware of the mistake, which happened yesterday. And the process that we went through, and basically how now I'm going to fix it. So without going into too much detail, right now I'm currently working on a content course with Matt for the business that we run together, and we've basically got the outlines sorted, and as part of that we were looking at an article that was written by a chap called HALPERN. If you don't know him, I'll put the link in the description, as well as maybe a little Twitter thing or something to point you in his direction. But a fantastic entrepreneur, Derek. He runs a company called Social Triggers. And we've been big fans of Derek HALPERN for a long time, and the whole point of looking through this article was to look at the style of how he writes for a blog, and because he writes a very good blog over on Social Triggers, and we were talking about Pat Flynn on Smart Passive Income, and we were basically pulling together some examples that we could then use in the course to sort of say, look at the style of this. This is a very good blogger, and his content is easy to read, it's very easy laid out. And that was fine. We found this article, and like I said, the article link will be down below, and the article is called "The 7 Fatal Mistakes People Make Selling Stuff Online." Like I said, it started out that we were just looking at this as an example of a blog post. And then the next day, Matt said to me, so just reread that blog post from Derek that we looked at yesterday. So I reread it, and I was annoyed because I was sat there and I was reading the article I was reading the content. I wasn't looking at the style and the layout. I was actually reading it word for word, and that's when I realized we'd messed up massively. He posted 7 fatal mistakes of people selling stuff online, and we were easily making 3 of them, if not 4, arguably 4. And I was making notes as I was reading, going, shit, we don't do that, we don't do this well, we are guilty of doing that. And yeah, I got really annoyed. I felt like I'd let myself down, I felt like I'd let you down watching this, because I'm supposed to be, the entrepreneur, I'm the man, and I'm making these stupid mistakes. And, I chatted with Matt afterwards, and he was like, yeah, so I think the term nut kicker was how he described it, and it's very accurate. I was annoyed at myself, and Matt will testament to that. I was being maybe a little harsh, but ultimately that's how annoyed I was. The point is, and what ultimately is that I got guilty of, was being complacent in a way, and that's not good. Being complacent is something which you should never be in business, and that's something that I definitely feel that both me and Matt got guilty of at one point. And obviously, having 20/20 hindsight, like everybody has, we can now go back and analyze, basically how much, not just money, but how many opportunities that we left on the table last year and didn't really maximize to our full potential. And it was basically that wake-up call which basically led to me and Matt having a really good conversation yesterday, and obviously with John Hayes, who you saw on the Monday's episode. I went and met him on Saturday. We basically Skyped John and said, John, we need an outsider's eyes on this. Could you spare us an hour, 2 hours, just to go through and literally make sure what we've been thinking over the past hour is right and we're heading in the right direction, because ultimately having outsiders' eyes come in and look at, because we get blind. We get blind by looking at the same stuff that we see every day. We don't acknowledge it for what it is. We don't see other opportunities out there, which is where, John is a total expert when it comes to marketing, and that is why we didn't hesitate in reaching out for help when it came to John, purely because right now we noticed that there was a problem. Well, not a problem, but just like we got complacent. We got lazy in a way, which is, again, not a good thing to do. And ultimately we feel John is the perfect person who can justify whether we're doing the right thing or not, and whether, if he's got any other ideas of things that we should be looking at which we maybe overlooked. This was, like I said, this was a tough pill to swallow yesterday, because it came out of nowhere, and yeah, I got angry. I don't often get angry, and I got angry with myself, and that was, yeah, not good. But ultimately I wanted to share this with you, because I ultimately wanted to say, being an entrepreneur, you don't win all the time. You have good and bad days. And even like yesterday, it was a good day overall, but it was a hell of a wake-up call at that, for that hour period where we were chatting and discussing and looking back. Do you dwell on it? No. You acknowledge it for what it is. You fucked up. And now you fix it. And that is exactly what, we're doing now, is that we noticed that, yeah, we got a little bit complacent. We didn't make the most of some opportunities and some timings that, that presented themselves last year. And that is basically what this is about. We learn from failure, not success. I always remember my dad telling me when I was really young, he says, it's okay to make a mistake, but never make the same mistake twice. And I feel that is exactly what I wanted to share with you today. I want to share with you that, it's not all sunshines and rainbows being an entrepreneur. You have the ups, you have the downs, and yesterday was a bit of a kicker, and now we have to learn from that. Like I said, we can't change what's already happened, but we can change what is going to happen to make sure it doesn't happen again, that history doesn't repeat itself. You might be thinking, Christ, Dave, what's gone on? The business still grew last year. We still grew. We still made profit a lot. We were still a very profitable business, but ultimately I felt that we weren't running the business as proper entrepreneurs at some times, and that is not okay in my book. So I wanted to share that with you. If ever you have been through something similar, I'd love to know down below. Make me feel a little bit better that I'm not the only one making these silly mistakes. And yeah, I hope that you've got something from this, that you realise that it is okay to make mistakes. I wanted to share with you an example of this that was so real, like I said, only happened yesterday, that we realised and it became apparent that we were making so many stupid mistakes when it comes to what we do, and now it's time to fix them, put the big boy pants on and fix the issues that we've perhaps neglected in the past. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, again, a like rating is always appreciated. And again, let me know if you have any questions, or if you have any examples or stories that you want to share with me. I'd love to hear them down below. It really would. Maybe cheer me up. I don't know. I'm okay. But with that said, I hope you found this useful. And with that said, I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is a good one. So yeah, I hope to see you there. Thank you for watching.